chair yoga today, all you need obviously is a chair. And put it on a surface that's not going to slide. So I have a yoga mat underneath mine. If you have one around, you might try that. Or just make sure you're not on a slick surface. But that's all you'll need for today. So come to the edge of your seat, away from the backrest, and feel for both of your sitting bones planting down into the seat of your chair. And sometimes we favor one hip, so be sure that you're spreading your weight evenly across your pelvis, and that's going to make it easier to sit throughout class. Another way to do that is to make sure that your feet are also evenly balanced on the floor. So place them underneath your knees, point your toes straight forward, and you might even be able to see your big toes at the inner V that your thighs create, and that's a good indicator that you're in nice alignment. Okay, now push into your heels and feel how just pushing into your heels a little bit rebounds your spine up against gravity, making your upper body feel lighter. And that's the idea here, finding support from the legs. And shrug your shoulders up to your ears and then just let them hang down from the neck. And feel for a moment if you feel like you're leaning forward or back or side to side, and balance from the crown of your head all the way down through your tail. And then close your eyes once you're ready. And bring your attention inward. So we'll do a little sensory exploration or meditation this morning before we start moving. And we'll shift our attention to each of our 5 senses. And the reason we'll do this is because the purpose of yoga is to gain mastery over the mind. But the senses create a little bit of an obstacle because we tend to be drawn outward to what we're hearing or seeing or smelling, touching, tasting. So if we can rein our attention back inward, we gain more control of the mind, more mastery. So we'll first just observe what we're experiencing. So bring your attention to your touch sense or your felt sense. Notice the texture of your clothing, the surface of your chair that you're sitting on, the temperature in the room, how your skin feels. Notice the weight of your body, or perhaps the lightness of your body. And any aches or pains or pleasures or comfort. Just going through top to bottom, bottom to top, side to side. And then draw your attention back away from the sense of touch and just open your awareness. Take a breath. Experiencing whatever is there. Now shift your attention to sound. What do you hear? Sounds near you and sounds far away from you. This could be the sound of your breath, perhaps the sound of your heart beating if you're really sensitive to it. Your stomach might be making some noises depending on when you last ate. You might hear buzzing in the room from any electronics or voices from other people in your home or around you. Any outside sounds, birds, animals, wind, traffic. And then shift your attention back inward or open your awareness to everything you're experiencing. Take a breath. And now turn your attention to what you see, even with closed eyes, your vision. And this could be colors, shapes, variations in light, movement, or perhaps no movement. And focus in on what you see with a laser-like gaze. Take it all in. And then pull your attention back from sight and open your awareness to everything. Take a breath. Let it out. And now what do you smell? There could be one smell that's standing out, or it could be a combination of many smells in the room. Any fragrance you might be wearing, clothing, or shampoo, or perhaps you're smelling something from the outside. Flowers, an ocean breeze, musk of any furniture in the room, anything. And then shift your attention back open to everything. Take a breath. Now last one, taste. What do you taste inside your mouth? There could be an aftertaste of food if you've just eaten, or maybe you've brushed your teeth, or just the taste of your saliva. Sometimes it's a little metallic. Or you might not taste anything, and that's okay too. And now open your awareness, receive everything, all of your senses and whatever else accompanies them, your mood, your energy. Take a deep breath in and exhale. And bring your hands together right in front of your chest, joining the palms. Feeling gratitude for your capacity to experience life through all the variations via your senses. Take one more breath in and let it out again with a sigh. Rub your hands together, create some warmth. And once your hands are warm, you can cover your eyes. Blink your eyes open. And then relax the hands back down. Okay. All right, well, I think it's just you and me, Mama. So we'll get started here. So let's begin by dropping the chin to the chest and just slowly roll your head over to one shoulder and then the other. Very nice and easy. And hopefully as you do this, you could feel some stretching or some awakening through the side of the neck, perhaps even down the shoulders, the upper back, even into the arms. So you just let your head swing slowly like a pendulum. One more breath, which you can breathe throughout this whole movement. You don't have to dictate a breath per side, just breathe naturally. All right, bring your chin back to center, lift your head up. And now tilt it to one shoulder. So instead of letting it angle forward, you're just leaning, keeping your head in the same plane as your shoulders. Now you could stay here, or you could reach your opposite arm out to the side and let it hover above the ground, perhaps even just relaxing the wrist. And this will bring some more sensation, more of that felt sense into the pose. Take one more breath here. Relax the arm if it was hovering. Lift your head back up and go to the other side. You might notice a difference between sides. This one seems to be my looser side. If you'd like, you can take that arm out. Maybe flex through the wrist, which will crank up the volume on the stretch. I feel that right away. And you will definitely trace that all the way down through the arm and even into your fingers. It's a nerve stretch. And then bring the head back up. Relax your arms and just rest your hands on your thighs. Take a breath in to lift your chest, arch your spine, and exhale. Round your back, squeeze the belly, and drop your chin. And then inhale, lift up through your chest, roll your shoulders back. You could look up if you like. Exhale, round your spine and your shoulders and tuck your chin. Squeeze your belly and continue. So as you do this, focus on contracting your belly muscles as you exhale. You want to turn on some of these deep abdominal muscles so we find support as we sit here. If we sit without the abdominal support, the bones tend to sag, we feel heavier, we get tired. So make sure you have some core engagement. One more time. And then come up. Sit nice and tall, and we'll take a twist here. So for this one, turn your chest over to the right and feel how your left hand sneaks forward, your right hand pulls back. And then go to the other side. Turn your chest to the left. Feel how naturally your right hand slides towards your knee, your left hand pulls back towards your hip. And then as you continue, exaggerate that, sliding one hand forward, one hand back. So whichever side you're turning to, that same hand is going to slide back to your hip. And that's going to help engage some of the muscles in the upper back to support the spine. Now you could exaggerate this and make it a bit more athletic by reaching your arms out. So push your front arm forward. And if you have the room, either bend your back elbow towards the back of your chair or reach it out at an angle, like you were pressing two walls, one in front, one behind you, and then go the other way. So you turn to the side, I'm turning to the left, and then reaching my arms out. Right arm pushes forward, left arm pushes back. One more time each way. And you could do this with bent elbows if you don't have space. Okay, and then come back to center. Now open your knees wider apart, angling your feet in the same trajectory as your knees. And we'll do a side angle pose here, or Parsvakonasana. So take your right elbow to your right thigh, or arm rest if that's more comfortable. Bring your left hand to your hip. Lean your chest back just a little bit in an effort to draw your torso in line with your thigh. And then either stay here, or take your left hand to your shoulder, or all the way up, or even alongside your ear, whatever's more comfortable. And comfort, we want to define that as ease in the breath and no pain, the absence of pain. And then press into the elbow, come up, and go to the other side. So you lean now to your left thigh, rest your left elbow on it, or the arm rest if you need to prop up a little higher. Bring your right hand to your hip, draw your torso back, trying to line up the side of your ribs with your thigh. Even if they don't come in exact alignment, we're just making the effort. Stay here, or hand goes to your shoulder, stretch the arm up, or even lengthen alongside the ear. Notice what you experience, what you sense. All 5 of your senses. And then come back up. All right, close the feet, walk them in, heel toe, heel toe. Draw them underneath the knees, push into your heels for support, and take a breath in, stretching your arms out and up, reaching as high as you can, as high as you like, and then exhale, just floating the arms back down. And if you have an obstacle beside you, you could take the arms forward at an angle or all the way in front of you. So whatever feels the most comfortable. Good. Okay, now this time, if you'd like, at the very top of your inhale, you could join your hands together and exhale, pull your palms down the center of your spine, right into your chest. So you form a prayer position. And then do that again. Inhale, arms come up. And perhaps exhaling to pull the hands down together into a prayer position. Last time, inhale. Exhale. Okay, now we'll add on to this for a few Surya Namaskars or sun salutations. This is a way to greet the sun, really nice to wake up in the morning. So breathing in, as we just did, reach your arms out and up. Exhale, push into your feet, lean forward, bring your hands to your thighs or slide them all the way down your legs towards your feet or the floor. Drop your head. Inhale, lift yourself up halfway. Belly comes off of your thighs. And exhale, fold back down. Wait for your inhale, push into your feet, engage your belly muscles, lift yourself up, float your arms overhead. And exhale, relax the arms down. Okay, 2 more like that. Inhale, lift up, grow tall. Exhale, take all of that length and fold forward over your thighs, either resting hands on knees or sliding them down the legs to the floor. Inhale, open your chest, extend your spine forward, roll your shoulders back. Exhale, fold back down, release your neck. Inhale, press into the feet, engage your low belly muscles for support, lift yourself up, float the arms, and exhale, lower the arms back down. One more, I lost track. I was so absorbed in it. One more time, inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. Maybe even look forward. Exhale, fold back down. Nice and easy. Let your breath set the pace. Inhale, come up. And exhale, arms down. Okay. Now we'll do chair pose here, or Utkatasana, which is sometimes called awkward pose. So I'm shifting my seat a little bit to kind of maneuver some of the fleshy part of my bottom out of the way, so I feel my sitting bones plugging in more firmly. And then I'm going to lean forward so I have an angle of my upper body over my thighs. And I'll show you from a side view. So just like this. Now you can keep your hands on your thighs for support. Engage your belly muscles, draw your lower ribs away from your thighs to feel the back of the body broaden, especially right around the lower back ribs. Draw your shoulders back, look forward past your toes. You could stay here or take your hands to your hips and squeeze your elbows together. So you're trying to hide your elbows behind your back. Push into your feet, either stay here or reach your hands forward in line with your shoulders, like you could hold a big beach ball in between your hands, or take your arms up at an angle alongside your ears, still imagining you were squeezing a big ball or something in between your hands so your arms stay engaged. Take one more breath. This is toning the back just with this angle here. And then push into the feet, lift yourself back up. Okay. And now we'll try the same thing standing if you like, or you could do it again seated as we just did. So if you'd like to try standing, there's a few different versions that you can explore. One would be coming to the back of your chair. So you walk behind to the backrest. Just place your hands on it for support or for balance. And we'll move in and out of a chair pose or Utkatasana. So your feet go under your hips. They point straight at the chair. Standing up nice and tall, take a breath in. And exhale, bend your knees so they track right over the center of your feet. Shift your hips back and sink your weight into your heels as if you were going to sit down into a chair behind you. And then press into your feet to inhale and stand. So it's just like a little mini squat. Exhale, bending the knees. You can look down as you do this. Keep your head in line with your spine. Inhale, press into the feet and stand. So you're working the muscles on the back of the thighs, your buttocks muscles, strengthening and toning all of those so there's freedom in the spine to just go along for the ride. Let's do one more. Good. Now if this felt pretty safe and comfortable, another option you have is to come to the front of your chair, and I would only do this if your balance felt completely secure. If you need something to balance on, go back to the version holding the chair. Hands come to the hips, take a breath in, and exhale, sit back towards the chair. Maybe you hover, maybe you tap down, and then push through the feet and come to stand. Okay, and just try that twice more. Any of the versions, seated, standing behind the chair, or standing in front of the chair. Exhale, sink through the heels. Look forward towards the floor. Maybe you tap the bottom down, push through the heels, slowly come up to stand. One more time. You could also even hold the armrest behind you if you get close enough. All right, so there's fierce pose or awkward pose, which you probably understand the meaning of now. Okay, we'll do another balance here. So hold on to the chair for support. Just stand in front of it, feet hip width apart, toes point straight forward, and simply lift up onto your tiptoes, hovering your heels, and then lower back down. And find one point to gaze at as you do this. Notice if this is challenging or if this is easy. Balancing requires use of proprioception, or sensing our body in space and as we move through space. So this can help to improve our sense of balance if we feel like we're not very good at balancing. And taking in the information from the feet, from the chair in front of you, the air around you, all of your senses. Now if you want to challenge yourself here and you feel safe, you can close your eyes and just bob up and down like a buoy as you lift onto your toes and lower down. Keep your breath flowing. It's very easy to hold the breath when we balance. One more time. Maybe inhale up and exhale down. Okay. Now come to either face the front of your chair or the side of your chair. I'm going to do this from the side. And take your legs wide apart. So I'll show you a version standing and then a version seated. So from the front, it would look like this. You just have a wide leg stance, maybe about a leg's length between the feet, but you're facing the seat so you can put your hands on it. Bring your hands to your hips, take a breath in, stand tall, and exhale, bend your knees a little bit, hinge forward, and bring your hands or possibly even your elbows to the seat of your chair. And if there's an armrest there, you can bring your hands to the armrest. So you're supporting your upper body with your hands or your elbows. And just letting the spine stretch As you push into the heels, press your thighs back and feel your spine extend forward. Might even feel like it's inching further towards the edge of the seat, whichever edge you're gazing towards. Take 1 or 2 more breaths. And always keep the knees bent generously here. Better to do that than let your back round. Relax your face, your jaw, your tongue, your eyes. And breathe smooth breaths. 1 more breath here. Inhale. And exhale. Press into your feet. Push your hands down into the chair. Slowly come up. And then come to have a seat. So this would be the version you could do seated. And you have 2 options here as well. You could sit at the edge of your seat, take your knees wide apart like we did a little bit ago, feet align with the angle of the knees, and then as you exhale, start to lean forward, either rest your elbows on your thighs or bring your hands down to the floor. And depending on your flexibility, you might get your fingertips down, you might get your palms down, you might even be able to lean forward more and drop the crown of your head to the floor. So you could stay there, or you could scooch back in your chair, depending on the type of seat that you have. If you have armrests, this is kind of tricky because you'd have to thread your feet underneath the armrests. And then in this version, elbows could rest on the seat, hands could come down, and your chest or your rib cage is supported by the seat underneath you. And this is a version of Prasarita Padottanasana, or stretched out wide leg pose. Take 1 more breath. And press into your feet. Bring your hands to your thighs or the chair. Use the strength of your arms to help yourself up. And then scooch back into a more traditional seat. Okay. All right. And just take a moment to settle here. We were angled down for a little while, so you can close your eyes if you like. Let your breath return to a natural rhythm. Let your heart rate settle if it elevated. Even your blood pressure will start to lower a bit. And just sense your body in space, taking in all the information your senses are offering you. Notice if anything's changed thus far. And open your eyes when you're ready. And we'll move into a chest opener. So I'll show you from the side. You'll sit tall just as you were. Now either bring your hands beside you by your hips, or if you have an armrest, you could hold on to the armrest. Ideally bringing your wrists underneath your elbows. So you might have to hold back a little further, but if you can't, that's okay. This could be fine too. All right, so push into your hands, either the palm or your knuckles. If your wrists are sensitive, you can kind of punch the seat of your chair. Try to straighten your arms or squeeze your elbows towards each other with a bend and lift your chest. So you're pointing your sternum, top of this breastbone, towards the ceiling. Maybe you look up or you just keep your gaze forward. Engage through the back muscles. Feel your spine tractioning here. Take 1 more breath. And exhale, release your effort. Let that go. Come forward again to the edge of your seat. And let's do a little hip work here because we haven't done very much yet today. So you can hold under your thigh if you're able to. Lift your leg up, give that a squeeze, and then just set the foot back down. And if it's not comfortable to hold the thigh, just draw it up with the strength of your belly muscles. And you can also hold the front of the shin if you prefer. And we're just alternating one at a time. And this is something that you might do on your back. If you've taken more traditional mat yoga classes, it's a nice way to relieve lower back pressure and stretch out parts of the hip. A little more challenging when we're seated because we need more abdominal support. One more time each way. And then set your foot down. And then either, let's see, cross your, I'm using my right, which is going to look like my left to you. So cross your left leg over your right, or you could take your ankle on top of your thigh. So you have two options for another version of a hip stretch. This one is more of an opening for the outer hip, a little deeper or much deeper. This one's more mild. So your choice, whatever feels more comfortable. And then either sit up nice and tall here, or you could lean forward. You're always welcome to explore the options and see what's more appropriate for you. Relax your shoulders. Relax your head, relax your face. Take one more breath. And then push into your foot that's on the floor, help yourself up, and switch sides. So either crossing of the legs, you can cross knees if that feels good for you. You can cross ankle on top of knee, flex your foot, sit up tall here, and if you like, you can lean forward. Now be mindful of the knee joint. If you're leaning into sharp pain, sit back upright. Notice what you feel, what you sense. Internally. So this idea of drawing our attention inward, away from outer distractions that our senses are pulled towards, is much like a turtle drawing its head, its limbs into its shell. And this is called pratyahara, or sensory withdrawal. And it's one of the steps or practices of yoga on our way to meditation and even enlightenment if we're lucky. Push into your foot, slowly come back up, step that foot down, and then make yourself comfortable for Savasana, or corpse pose. You could do this sitting in your chair, maybe scooching your bottom back so you have support from the backrest. You could also place a pillow behind you. You could also lie on the floor near your chair and prop your legs up on your chair if you prefer. And once you get there, let's just do a few cycles of tensing and releasing the body so we feel settled and calm. So take a breath in. At the top of your inhale, tense everything you can think of. Your face, scrunch it. Your shoulders, shrug them up. Squeeze your fists into really tight grip. Even your legs, can you squeeze the chair, squeeze your feet? Exhale, let it go. Just flop. Do that 2 more times. Inhale. At the top of your inhale, contract everything you can think of. Upper body, lower body, front, back, sides. Release. One more time. Inhale. Create tension. You're intentionally creating a little bit of stress. And then exhale. Let it go. Find relief. You can rest your hands on your lap. Palms up or down. Close your eyes. And draw your attention inward. So you let the body rest, but the mind stays alert. Aware of its surroundings and aware of this inner realm that is really beyond description. It's different for each person, but also the same. Yogis describe this as an inner sense of peace or calm or joy that's always present, always available to us if we pay attention. You can stay here for as long as you like, 5, even 10 minutes. Just enjoying this inner sense of peace, calm, joy. When you're ready to come out of Savasana, you can wiggle your fingers and your toes. Move your head from side to side. Stirring your body awake a bit more. And then join your hands in front of your chest, your heart, in a gesture of gratitude for your practice, for yourself, for taking this time. Open your eyes when you're ready. Relax your hands down. And you're all finished.